All right, so we've talked about the tools, and let's see how to apply it on the face and the hair area or the hair region. You can see the hair scattered all over the place, well, the strand of the hair, and also you can see a lot of pimples, not pimples per se. So let's quickly see some other retouching tools and how to use them. Okay, so the first one which we talked about was the Macro tool. As recap, the rectangular Macro tool, and in this case you're not going to use it here. It's mostly for the background, unless you want to use it to create boundary, and nobody's head is looking like a square. So in this case it's going to be the elliptical tool. So but I'm not going to go into that now. The tool that is necessary here is the spot healing tool. So just for instance, the spot healing tool, I think is updated in the Photoshop 2024, where we have other tools, but this is enough for you to get you to the result or the point. Now this is just automatically content aware. You can see it's on the content aware, so it's going to match proximity match. So it's going to look for a place that it's that you, just for instance, if I click on it, it's going to give sample an area, just like the clone stamp tool. So sample an area and then correct that place. So Ctrl Z, look at the way the clone stamp tool operates, which we talked about earlier. You know, clone stamp tool, you just need to hold and hold and sample an area and then cover it like that. So that's how that tool function, which is the spot healing tool. So it's just going to, you know, quickly select and remove blemishes. So but this is actually stressful. If you have a lot of blemish like this or rashes, you can't just be, you know, selecting and trying to correct that. It's not going to work because the skin are full of blemishes. I'll give you an example in the later class. Okay, so this is how to use that tool. So I'm just going to hit Ctrl Z, and you just use it for quick fix. Let's take for instance, you finish your editing and you just figure out that there's one more places that is looking bad, so you can just quickly. Also this tool, you can use it, you can drag it. Let's say I want to remove this line, so you can just drag it like this and it's just going to remove. You can drag it and it's just going to remove like that. So Ctrl Z, let's bring it back. And some other tools, healing tool brush. Okay, so this one needs sampling. Okay, so Ctrl Z, you sample an area and then you use it to heal. So it's just going to keep sampling from that area. You can see it's still the same thing. So sample an area. So this one is not automatic matching. You are sampling it by yourself. If you want to use the highs instead, up to you. It's just going to use the highs and you can see the way it's sampling it. So Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. Let's go ahead and talk about I've talked about the patch tool. The patch tool is actually very fast for me. I just circle and move, finish, draw a straight line like this, move, finish. And I think I love the patch tool a lot, and it makes life easier for me. Circle, move, and it's just as fast as what I don't know. So Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. So whichever one you want to use, you see me mostly using the patch tool, and the I don't use the spot healing tool that much, except I just want to do a quick walk or it's a full portrait. So that's when I use that tool. Now I've talked about the clone stamp tool, the mixer tool brush. Okay, I'm going to talk about that later. Now let's move further to the blur. The blur tool is used in blurring background or blurring whatever, so a specific part. Let's take for instance, I want to blur the skin texture. I can just, you know, keep on, you know, dragging over it and you can see the blur effect. You can blur anywhere. So it's mostly used to blur some certain places, and it's very useful in color grading because there are some parts you need to blur out so as to give the subject more focus. This is not the perfect picture to explain it, but I'm going to use another picture later on. So let's take for instance, you have the watch stealing the shine. I can just quickly blur that I can blur all this out, so then make the focus be on the face. And if you don't want to use that, then you have to use masking. Go into filter, let's duplicate, Ctrl J, and go into filter, go to blur, Gaussian blur. All these are type of blur, so but this is the mostly used one, the Gaussian blur. I'm going to be using it a lot, okay, in the tutorial, so just know where you can locate it. So filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and once you blur it, you can now give it a mask. So let's mask it. This is a mask. Anything that you create, if I create a mask, it's going to create a white mask. If I create a mask, it's going to reveal it. If I Ctrl I to invert the mask to black and white, mask is always black and white. So now I just blurred it. So now I'm going to go ahead, choose a normal brush tool. Now where I want the effect to show is where I'm going to paint over. Because the mask is black and it's hiding that stuff, I'm just going to change this foreground color to white, and now wherever I paint, you can see the effect, because I can just quickly paint over and even the background and make the focus. Even as you are looking at the picture right now, everywhere is blur, but you see that your eyes are going to where it's sharpened in the image. So I can go ahead and sharpen this one the more. Just click on it, you are going to see the sharpen image, and let's make it big, and we can sharpen the eyes, and sharpen the nose, and sharpen the lips. So you can see that as you are looking at the image, even if I drag it far, your eyes is just forcing itself to the where it's sharpened already, because that's the effect. So it moves your focus to where it's sharpened or where it's in focus. So that's how it operates. So I'm going to delete this one, and then let's undo the rest. Ctrl Z. So let's delete this one, delete, and now we're back. So that's for the two, the blur and this thing. I don't use it, and I'm sure you're going to know where it's necessary when you're working with background. Okay, so that's for that. And now let's say I want to remove the hair. So I want to talk about the hair right now. So the hair, you're going to use the lasso tool, and it took me a while to figure this out. I was like, how do these people do this? So just select a place, and their hairbrush, please, their hairbrush, so select it and make it look realistic. I'm just going to quickly do this and select a place. So the method I taught you in the first one, that's what you're going to use. You can use the clone stamp tool. In fact, that's the tool you're actually going to use. Clone stamp tool, hold and hold, select the background, and please don't select like this, select inward. So I'm just going to drag, sorry, Ctrl Z. You can see it's selecting inward. So select another area and then drag like that. So you're going to drag. You can sample somewhere outside and then drag, but it's just going to change color. Okay, so sample somewhere inside. Don't worry if you have that, you can keep dragging and drag. Okay, so that's for that. Ctrl D to deselect. So I wish I had before, and now I can quickly do this one, which is this one. Okay, so let's select again. I'm going to select somewhere, you can see this one, and do it. So sorry, let's do it again, like that and like that. Let's take it up. Now you're going to select the clone stamp tool and then sample like that, down. So Ctrl D to deselect. So we have this. You can see how the hair is looking more neat. Okay, so what about this one inside? Very easy, the same thing. Let's take this and do that. So I like selecting large area. Let's select somewhere like this. Although there are AI that can do all this stuff, so please, it's very hard when you do it manually, but it's actually good to learn it manually. So hold and hold, and then brush inward, just little by little, please. Yep, so something like that. You're just gonna fill it in. And for this one, let's say you want to remove this air, you want to blend it, of course you know what to do. There are various methods you're going to use. You can select it and blur it, just blur it, or Ctrl J. It's going to duplicate that layer. If I turn all the layer off, you're going to see it. So once you do it like that, you can go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and just don't blur it very well, just blur it a little bit till it's out of focus, and then you can now blend it back. Let's do it like this. So something like this, far more than concentrated. So if that didn't work, you know what to do. Just grab the mixer tool brush, and then you know what to do. Oh sorry, Ctrl Z, mixer tool brush, take it downwards, and you're going to blend it together just a bit. So sometimes I make it very small and just do your thing together. The whole idea is to remove that line and make sure it's looking okay. And you can see how this place is looking rough right now. So but you can just do it and then use your what's it called, texture tool, to copy texture and fix it. So it won't look real, I'm just quickly showing you how to go about it. So you can blend the colors together, and that's for that. And that's what I do. And if you are perfect with the clone stamp tool, you can use it. Clone stamp tool, just go ahead, hold and hot, sample that area, and then on it. So this one as well works, sample an area. Yeah. So but you need to figure out, but I advise you to create a new layer for that. Ctrl Z, Z, and like that. Okay, so in the sense that when you look far, you won't notice what's going on. Okay, so for that, just do what looks good, and I think we're through with most of the tools. So for recap, I talked about the patch tool and the spotting tool. Just quickly do this, drag it out, do this, drag it out. There are more advanced way of retouching with those tools. Your patch tool, I'm just gonna quickly draw a line and it's gonna fix that. So one problem of this one is sometimes it doesn't feel right. So this one, talked about this one, hold and hot, sample an area, and then click to cover those places up. And I talked about the clone stamp tool. So your own still the same, select an area and then quickly, so Ctrl Z. For that, it's not too perfect, hold and hot, select somewhere close to it. Okay, so like this, it's actually best we do it like that. Okay, it's sampling current and below, so just say current layer, so it won't sample anything else. So you need to get the right sample. Which other tool did I talk about? Talked about the sharpen and the blur, so that's for that. And that is all for the lasso tool. Lasso tool, you can select an area like this and then pick on the patch tool because you selected with the lasso tool, and you're going to push it in, select an area, push it out. So those are the tools for retouching. Ctrl Z, Ctrl deselect, yeah, Ctrl D to deselect. So let's take, for instance, you want to remove this air. You can just quickly select the air, very little, and then move it up, and it's just gonna go out of the way. So that's how I do it sometimes. Select that, push it a little bit further away, and it's gonna select that. Select this, push it a little bit further away, it's gonna correct that for you. Same thing, push it downwards, and boom. All right, so which other one? And all this. Okay, so this one I'm going to show you a special effect to do. So all this, it won't actually work like that, but there are limitations to all these tools, if you know what I mean. All right, so that's for that. Let's move ahead.